Hey everybody, Kevin with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies, and what we're going to cover today is a comprehensive guide to sphere of influence marketing on Facebook. So if you're familiar with what I teach, I'm going to go through the module here on marketing to your sphere of influence, because my strategy and approach is quite a bit different than what the real estate industry's taught you. And so with this YouTube video, what we're going to do is basically walk you through not only the strategy to market to your sphere of influence, but also more of an advanced way of doing it on Facebook. So I'm not going to spend the time on the strategy itself as much as I normally do, simply because I've got podcast episodes and other places where I've covered that. So if you want to go get the detailed strategy, you can. But the simple concept is that the industry has taught you with your sphere of influence that you need to market to them in this way. So you're supposed to call them and ask this question: who do you know of that's thinking about buying or selling? And basically there's two significant problems. First one is, even if they do give you a name, they probably did it just to get you off their back, right? And all you received was a name, it wasn't a referral. So you didn't even get what you wanted out of that. But the second problem is they might not even think of you as a real estate professional yet. Maybe you're brand new to the business, and so this contact of yours, they still think of you as, you know, their friend or their family member or the person at church or whatever that relationship is. They might not yet think of you as that real estate professional. And so you have to earn that trust. And we do that through a series of repetition where they see you as an agent, right? As they see you in the real estate industry. And it starts to create that mental image that when they think of you, they think of real estate. And so it takes a little bit of time to do that. And so the strategy that I teach people is that you want to be sending your sphere of influence information every single month at a minimum. And so it's information that's helpful. You're never soliciting them. You're never directly asking them to get a CMA or call you for advice or to set up an appointment, or you're never doing any of those things, because it's the direct solicitation that people absolutely hate, right? And that's where a lot of agents start getting this reputation where people perceive them to be like, the next network marketer, where you're just trying to sell. And it's not really anything that's based on a relationship. And so we want to combat that with never soliciting them at all. The way that we do that is we just constantly send them helpful, valuable information where they begin to think of you as that real estate professional. And as that process occurs, in a short period of time, you'll know that it's working, because the next time that you see them socially, they're going to say, hey, I've been receiving that information that you've been sending me. Can I ask you a question? And that's how you know it's working. And so people say, well, what are the kinds of things that I should be sending to them? So the things that you should be sending them are things like this. So you can send them market updates. You could send them tips on owning a home, ways to reduce their home expenses, cost-effective home repairs. You could even send them testimonials, anything that helps them see you as the real estate professional. So, make mental notes of these things: market updates, tips, testimonials, because we're going to use these with the advanced strategies that I'm going to show you. So now that you've seen this, let me show you how we can market to sphere of influence people directly on Facebook. And as weird as this term sounds, I call it directly marketing to people. Okay, directly marketing to them. So here's why I say that. A lot of people say, well, Kevin, I want to be more aggressive with my sphere of influence. I want to send them more than just one thing a month. But you've got to think through this, right? These are people that did not request information from you. You're just sending it. And since they didn't request information, if you're constantly bombarding them, let's say rather than sending something once a month, you are sending something weekly, or maybe even 5 or 6 times a month, right? A little bit more than a week. Since they didn't request that information, if you're sending something with that kind of frequency, chances are they're probably going to unsubscribe from your list. And again, that doesn't help you. And so how do we hit them more often without them unsubscribing? And the simple answer is we do it in a format where they didn't even have to subscribe, and because of that, they didn't unsubscribe. Meaning that we use Facebook, right? And so we can directly market to them your sphere of influence contacts directly on Facebook. So now that you understand the concept and these things that you could possibly send, let's cover the strategy itself on Facebook. What a lot of people don't realize is that in Facebook, I can create a custom list and I can run ads to a list of people. And so here's what's really cool about this strategy, and let me show you how to do it, is I can create a custom list. So where I'm at is in audiences. In Facebook, if you click on your little down arrow that's over here, in fact, I'll just start at the beginning and show you. So you've got your little down arrow over here and your option that takes you to manage ads. That's what we're going to click on. That takes you to the ads manager. And inside the ads manager, you're going to see all the different campaigns and ads and things that you've set up. Now, if you click on this little button up here, it opens up a menu, and go to all tools. Over here under assets, there's an option that's called audiences. And this is what we're going to do, is we want to create a custom audience. So in the audiences menu, these are audiences that I've already set up for some marketing campaigns that I've done. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on create audience and then custom audience. It's going to give us a bunch of choices. And for what we're doing, the one that we want to do is customer file. So as it says, you can use a customer file to match your customers with people on Facebook and create an audience from the matches. So what we do is we click on that, and you can either import from MailChimp if that's the email program that you're using, or you can just create your own file, right? And so this is the one that you're going to use probably, unless you're just doing a direct import if you happen to be using MailChimp. Now, with this, it's going to ask you to prepare a file with your customer data. And if you click on this little thing that says read best practices, it's going to open up this help page. And this page, even though it's a little bit complex and it's a little long, it is very helpful. And so it's going to tell you some of the best practices for how to create your list. So two of the most important ones right here, it says always use the country code. And then it says always the country code for the phone number, and then also putting in the country code, so the letters, the abbreviation. And this is because they're matching with an audience that is nationwide. So with this, what you're going to do is you can come down here and click on this file. You can download a template that will actually show you how to set up your list. And so this file, I've already downloaded it in preparation for this video. And when you open it up, it looks like this. So inside this video, what you're going to see is you're going to see this template with all of these email addresses, phone numbers, and you're going to be able to create your list. So the reason why it's got multiple fields for email is you notice that if you've got multiple email addresses for people, you can put in up to 3 different email addresses. And what Facebook does is they're going to go through and they're going to match, they're going to look at the list of accounts that people have registered a Facebook account with. And if one of those emails is a match, it's going to pull in that profile, and that'll be one of the people that you're showing ads to. Another way that it's matching people is based on phone numbers, because you've probably also listed your phone number as part of your Facebook account. And so even the one thing that it did mention is you have to put in the country code, the phone number for the country code. Since most of you are US, the code for the US phone number is 1. Now, whether you're putting in the formatting of spaces and area codes and the parentheses and stuff, the formatting doesn't matter, but you do have to put the 1 so that it knows that that's a US phone number. And same thing, you've got 3 fields for phone numbers, and they're going to match any of those phone numbers to a Facebook account. So if any of this information matches, it's going to pull them in. And then you've got any other fields that you want to put in. So first name, last name, and then don't change these headings, because that's how Facebook knows what fields are what, right? So the one thing that it did mention was very critical is this column right here, column M, where you need to put in the 2-digit abbreviation, or the 2, not digits, the 2 letters abbreviating the country code. So US, that would be Great Britain, that's probably Brazil, and France. So with these, that's how Facebook's going to use this information to match up and find the people. And so you're going to go in, you're going to edit this to create, put in the information for your sphere of influence. And then once that's done, you're going to come right back here to where we were, where we're preparing this. And so right here, there's this button that says add a new file. And what you're going to do is you're going to upload the file. In fact, let me just close this so that we've got it, because I'm just going to use the base one, the one that they provided in the example, just for the sake of time. So that is right here. I'm just going to upload that. And or I can simply copy and paste if I prefer to do that. I can copy and paste my data here, or I can upload it. So you can do either way. The upload, it's going to take you a little bit more time to compile the information on that spreadsheet. But the benefit of it is being able to use multiple phone numbers, multiple email addresses to get as many matches as possible. So we're going to go ahead and do that option. I'm going to click Next. It's going to go through and say, here's how this field is going to be mapped to email. Email, phone is to this one. And so if for any reason any of the categories are wrong, I can just come in here and say, no, that's not the phone number, that's a different field, right? And so you can go ahead and do that. But if you've left those headings the way that they are on that spreadsheet, it will perfectly match these up. You'll notice that all of these are perfect. I don't have to change anything. And then once that's done, I simply do upload and create, right? It's uploaded those 9 rows. It's going to say it's going to take a couple minutes because what they're doing is taking all that data and then matching it to the people that Facebook has a list of that matches that information. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click Done, and you'll notice right here that now that list is there and the status says that it's updating the audience. Okay, so now that I've done that, now I can go create my ad. So I can just simply click here, create my ad, right? And like always, the first thing it asks me is, let me just close a couple of these things. The first thing it's going to ask me is what my campaign objective is. So the campaign objective is going to be any of these. The one that probably makes the most sense for what you're doing is, again, the thought process and the strategy is that I want to directly solicit these people. So if they're seeing ads on Facebook, it's not like me popping up in their inbox as if I was sending an email to them. And so basically what happens is it creates this situation where everywhere they go, they're seeing my ads, right? And so I can just create a brand awareness ad where it means it's showing it to as many people as possible to bring awareness to my brand, right? So I can just go ahead and hit continue. I'm going to set up my ad like I normally would, but the biggest difference is right here. I can come in and use a saved audience. Now that list isn't showing because it hasn't finished populating yet. But you'll notice the other ones that have finished populating are here. Once that list is done populating, generally it takes a few minutes. Let me see if I can hit refresh and see if it'll be there. And because I'm doing a live recording of this, it may or may not work. You know how technology is. But basically, once you've got that done, it will be listed in your saved audience. Yep, see that audience is still not there. So you'll see it here. And then really there's not a whole lot of other targeting that needs to be done. It's just a matter of once you've got this all, I'll use one of the other ones just to show you how this works. So once you've picked a list and you've picked where you want your ads to show, and what I recommend for placements on this is usually I'm recommending people to edit the placements because some of them are better than others. But with this, I would tell you, unless you're doing a video, you'll probably unclick the videos, right? But I would say leave Instagram checked, leave audience network checked. I would uncheck Messenger though. You don't want that to show up as a message to them. So the audience network is going to show it on third-party websites. Again, if they're seeing your ads on third-party, that's really powerful because it's like, man, everywhere I go, I'm seeing stuff of Kevin, right? And so that becomes very powerful. And then all these other placements on Facebook, Instagram, those are all great. So at that point, you're going to set your budget. You're going to do any of those things, any of the other changes that you want. And then, like always, you can either create an ad or use an existing post. So you could create a post that you wanted people to see and share that. You could create an ad. And some of the content that you're going to use for this, testimonials are great because people get to see from others that you do great work. Helpful articles, testimonials, any of that information that we talked about earlier, those things are great to use for this purpose where people in your sphere of influence, aside from that monthly message that you're emailing to them, they're just seeing your ads all over the place and it's going directly to them. And that's what makes this such a powerful strategy. So this is one way that you can get way more advanced with your sphere of influence marketing, where you're able to market to people without it being a direct solicitation, meaning you send it to them, because that's what they dislike. But if they're just seeing your stuff all over the place, it's like, holy cow, Kevin must be an awesome agent because that's all I ever see. And this is a really powerful strategy to win that spot in their mind as the real estate professional, through this concept of creating a custom audience and marketing, running ads to that list of people rather than creating a demographic. So this is one way of getting really specific with your marketing on Facebook. So hopefully you like this video. It's something that's going to be very helpful for you as you're marketing to your sphere of influence. So make sure that you, below here on YouTube, make sure you go down, click the subscribe button. Right? Every week we publish more and more of these trainings where we're showing you how to do various things that will help you increase your leads, grow your business, and generate more clients. So make sure you click the subscribe button, and then right next to that will be a little bell. Click that. That's for getting notifications, and you'll get a notification every time we publish a brand new video here on YouTube. So as always, thanks for being here. Hopefully you found this information helpful, and let's keep marketing and growing your business. This is Kevin with 2Q Lead Generation Systems signing off saying, make it a great week. Take care.